Hi, my name's Aaron, and I'm here to talk to you about Civic Mirror. So, let's get this started. What are my strengths and weaknesses, and how could I improve the country? So, I'll start off with my weaknesses. I think we all know that I was not very well liked in our country. Most of it stemmed from me being pretty power thirsty and making some very controversial bills. Also, I tend to be a little bit impulsive with that, so I think that's kind of where all of that comes from. Some of my strengths, though, I have a good knowledge of the court system, which helped me not be impeached or not be removed from office when I was impeached. Also, I was pretty good at being sneaky with my bill writing, which was a good and a bad thing because I almost got what I wanted, but also it did not help me be well liked. Some improvements I could make to the country was I could write more laws and help us that way. Also, I could make sure everything is a little bit more fair, and most importantly, I could sue people, which would help the people who are committing crimes and doing wrong be put where they're supposed to and be treated the way they're supposed to. So, how has this experience changed my attitude and outlook? Well, I learned a lot. I learned that as a country, we tend to be very corrupt, very distrustful, and pretty angry. So, I think that this kind of is the same as what happens in the real government. So, I have a little bit more of a respect, because that can get very frustrating, and I have a different outlook on how our government works. What about this experience have you found shocking, and what can you learn from it? Something that I was pretty shocked about was how corrupt we were, and I thought that it wouldn't be the way it was. I think we know who most of the corrupt people were. And I also learned that one mistake can lead you to a lot of people disliking you. I learned this myself from personal experience with my very highly controversial bills. And I think Chris learned this when he was being a lawyer. And so that was just something that really shocked me. What did I begin to understand about the government, laws, and our society? I learned a lot about lawmaking, how a bill becomes a law, who it has to go through, and the difficult process through that. So I have a little bit more of an understanding for how all that happens. I also learned that every choice you make is not going to be okay with a certain number of people. So I think it'd be hard to be a senator or House representative or president or anything like that in real life because of how much disliking you would get for every choice you made. How has this experience prepared you for reality? Well, I learned a couple things again. I learned how fast a seemingly good decision can turn very bad. I learned this from my lawmaking, mostly. And I think some others of us learned this in the class. Also, I learned that the candidate that you think might be right for the job may be the worst choice you made and could lead you to having a dictator. So I definitely learned that I need to think a little bit before I make my decisions, and also think before I vote. Make sure I'm voting for the person that I know I can trust and is going to do the right thing. What about this experience did I find frustrating, and what can I learn from it? One thing I found pretty frustrating was how people can blame their failure on other people. I think Chris learned this the most when he was sued for being a bad lawyer, even though he'd really done nothing wrong, and it wasn't his fault that they lost the case. There really wasn't much of a case to start with. Also, something that was really frustrating was how biased people were, and how you really had to prove your point. And I found this mostly in the juries, especially again for Chris's trial when he was convicted. All in all, Civic Mirror was a really fun experience, and I think I learned a lot.